the scriptures. I was blessed, to find it. I was thanking God. So it's Proverbs chapter 18. I'm going to read the first 10 verses and then the last one. It says, an unfriendly person pursues selfish ends, and against all sound judgment starts quarrels. Fools find no pleasure in understanding, but delight in airing their own opinions. So the first two, the overarching theme here is watch who your friends are and watch what you say. So it starts off talking about unfriendly people, and it says basically that there are going to be people that you're friends with or that you may talk to that are unfriendly, and those kind of people are basically looking out for themselves. It says fools find no pleasure in understanding. They're not looking to understand where you're coming from. They only want to delight in their own opinions. They're looking out for themselves. It goes on to say, when wickedness comes, so does contempt, and with shame comes reproach. The words of the mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a rushing stream. So when I read this, I thought of like how quick we can be to say something. Somebody says something, you're gonna have a quick response right back, and there's so many things that you can say. There's a lot of vocabulary that we can use to respond to what people say to us. But a fountain of wisdom is a stream, and a stream is a narrow waterway. And so there's a few things that you can say. It'll narrow it down if you think deeply and you think about something that would be wise to say rather than the first thing that comes to your head. It goes on to say that it is not good to be partial to the wicked and so deprive the innocent of justice. The lips of fools bring them strife, and their mouths invite a beating. And when I read this, it was pretty self-explanatory. The lips of fools invite a beating. And when I was talking to my mother about this, it reminded me of how the people you hang with, the way they talk, it always comes back to you. So if your friend is talking about somebody else, then somehow you always get involved in it, and people are always trying to invite a beating to your own house. It sounds like we have a little connection and connect with there. Okay, I'm glad that this actually connects with my peers. All right. It says the mouths of fools are their undoing, and their lips are a snare to their very lives. And so if you don't think before you speak, it'll come back to hurt you. It'll affect you. And there are some examples that are like easier to see than others, I guess. Okay, then it says, the words of a gossip are like choice morsels. They go down to the inmost parts. I don't know, for me, I thought of like a lot of female like gossip problems that we may have. We always want to hear what's going on with everybody, but even though it may seem like that's what you want to hear, you don't really want to get involved in that. And then the last two verses say, one who is slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. And so, to me, these mean that people who are lazy, they kind of connect with people who aren't, like when you're lazy, you don't get anything done. If you're not solving a problem, then you're adding to it. And going to Jesus as a friend or the Lord as a friend, you'll be safe regardless of what you do. He'll be your friend. And then finally, the last verse in the chapter says, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. And so if you have unreliable friends, which we may all have, they can bring you down. Your unreliable friends can bring you down. But it says there's a friend who sits closer than a brother, and that friend is the Lord, is Jesus. And so if you have a friend in him, then you'll always be safe. And so I think this connects to breaking the chain, because there's some people that you're going to have to break the chain with. And so you have to think about who those people are who are going to bring you to ruin and break those chains with them. You can't interact with them, I guess. But if you have a relationship with Jesus, then it'll be easier to break those chains and you'll be able to grow more. So that's what I got from this proverb. I hope you all took something away from it as well.
Amen. Amen. And there we have it. I'm going to ask at this time if you all would kind of just get to stand, everyone to stand up. And I want you to take a moment and just think about what the word was on tonight, what Gabrielle shared with you about friendships and about chains that need to be broken. And I want us to think about who those